So in the last video, we discussed about how to set up a prompt evaluation function using MLflow. Now in this video, we are going to deep dive into what exactly is the output of that evaluation. So what happens is that once that evaluation is complete, you get a new run. Inside that new run, you will get traces for each of the data inputs that you provided. So for the first data input, if you see, if I click on this trace, so you will get two things here on the left, inputs and outputs. Input would be the prompt. So you see, you are a helpful assistant, and then this is the exact question that was, one second. I think something is not right. One second. Okay, I think I did not use this question. So let's do one thing. Let's, in place of this, use this question and then run this evaluation again. So let me close this, and there will be new run that will get created after this. So you have to watch out this evaluation. So currently this evaluation is running. It takes some time because it takes help of LLM to basically do this correctness test. Okay. So if I refresh it, you see a new run is created, and if I click on it, you see again there are inputs and outputs. In the inputs, you see you are a helpful assistant. All these things have been extracted from our prompt template, right? That we created earlier. That prompt template exists in the prompt registry if you can navigate there. So if I open this FAQ bot and I am loading the second version, so this is the prompt template that we are loading, and we are replacing the question. So if I go back, I'm replacing the question, who invented telephone, and that question is coming from our evaluation data set. I can call this this as eval data set, and this as eval matrix. Okay, so correctness is something that we are measuring. Now what is the output? Output is the output by the LLM model. Now we need to navigate to here. Alexander Graham Bell is credited with the inventing of telephone. Now why it was so concise? Because in the prompt we basically asked the LLM that you need to answer the question only in English. Answer should be under 3 sentences, and that is why it respected that. Now on the right you will see navigation, not navigation, on the right part of this screen you will see assessment. There are multiple assessment, only one assessment for now, correctness. I can expand this correction. It is saying yes, it means it is correct. The response that LLM has given, it is correct. How it is correct? It is basically following our expected response. Okay. So the claim states Alexander Graham Bell as the inventor of the telephone. The document explicitly states that this is credited with inventing the telephone. Now let's do something dubious here. Let me run this evaluation again, but here let me. So I'm kind of tricking the LLM to give the wrong answer, to basically fail this test. So let me do something like, let me write here, I don't know, Isaac Newton. Okay. So I'm doing this for fun, but let's see what happens. Okay, so who invented telephone? Isaac Newton. Now our evaluation is being run. So this is our expected response based on our ground truth. So ground truth itself is wrong, but let's see what happens. So if I refresh it, we have a new run and a new trace, and each trace will correspond to one data. So you see no. Why? Okay, let's expand this. Let's see the rationale. Questions ask, who invented the telephone? The document clearly states that telephone was invented by Graham Bell, which means this document states that telephone was invented by Graham Bell. Okay, and he was awarded. The claim, however, names Isaac Newton. Claim names as the Isaac Newton as the inventor, which is not supported or mentioned anywhere in the document. Therefore, the claim is not supported by the document. So this is the document that is returned by the LLM on the left, and this is the rationale that it is not correct based on the you can say based on the you can say based on the claim. Okay, so we are claiming that it is Isaac Newton who invented it. Okay, let's go back to that Alexander Graham Bell. Okay, I hope you are able to understand what this correctness is doing. Now there are some pretty cool thing that you can do with only inbuilt things. So there are some ways by which you can build your own custom scorers that we can cover right now, but that maybe we will cover in the next video. But let me cover one more important you can say evaluation framework, that is guideline. Okay, so there is one more thing that we can do, GenAI dot scorer, I guess, dot guidelines. Okay, in the guidelines we can provide the guideline name. So suppose I create a guideline such as is professional, is professional, and I can instruct this guideline. So instructions, or no, sorry, guidelines. So I can provide the guidelines. Again, these both correctness and guidelines will be LLM driven. So LLM is acting as a judge here. The answer should be professional. Or maybe let me trick this also, because in the prompt I'm saying it to give me answer in as precise and less than one words, but here guidelines I am saying should be professional and long, maybe really long. Okay, so now it will fail, right? So the reason I am trying to cover the type of situation is I want to show you how this is working under the hood. Let's run this and let's see how the output looks like. Okay, so let's refresh it and see. Okay, so this time a new run is created and let's open the trace. So you see correctness this time is true. Correctness is true. Why? Because in the expected response we clearly stated that Alexander Graham Bell is the expected response for this question. This is the claim. No, is professional. Why it is false? Let's look at the rationale. So it's saying the guideline states that the answer should be professional and really long. The provided response is indeed professional in tone. Okay, what is the response? This is the response. It is professional, but it is very brief and does not meet the criteria for being really long. Therefore, the guideline regarding length is not satisfied. So here in this particular assessment, we are able to see two different you can say correctness. We are able to evaluate this prompt using two different metrics, you can say. One is guideline and another is, now there are custom scorers that you can develop, which we will be looking at in next video. But I think this is going to be it for this video. But before I close out this video, I want to take your attention to one important feature of this ML flow, is that in this tab, if I come to the right, so within this tab, if you come scroll to the right, you will see all the assessment and you will see this nice looking graph. Now, currently I have only one data, and that is why you are seeing only one trace, and corresponding to that trace you are seeing it is passed, it is failed, and overall it is going to tell you what is the percentage of pass, what is the percentage of fail. Okay, for each of the assessment that you are doing. Suppose hypothetically speaking, if you have got 100 test cases here, then there will be 100 traces here, and then it will be a real test of your prompt, like how many of those are correct, how many of those are professional, and things like that. Okay, so I can quickly show you what exactly I'm trying to say here. Okay, so I have just added three basically questions here. Maybe first question is, what is the capital of India? And let's write the answer as New Delhi. And then oldest, which is the oldest university in the world? Okay, and let's search for our oldest university in the world, and let's write that down. University of Bologna. Okay, so let's write it down. as the expected response. Now we will be evaluating Control Z, University of, what is happening? I think I'm not able to Control C, Control V. Okay, so now we have got three data points in our eval data set, and let's change it back to being professional only. Okay, and let's run this now. So now you will be able to see the true power of MLflow. So it will take some time because it is going to call LLM for three test cases. So if I now refresh it, so you will have a new run, and in the new run you will have three inputs. And if I scroll to the right, you will see one of them is failing. Which one is failing? Let's see. Our claim is that the oldest university is University of Bologna. I don't know where that university is, but let's see why it is failing. What is the output? It's saying University of Al Qarin, founded in this. Okay, it is failing on the correctness. Why it is failing? Let's think it step by step. The claim states that University of is the oldest university. However, the document explicitly states that oldest. So you get the idea, right? But on the professional, so on the professional assessment is professional. All of them are professional. So this is how we evaluate prompts, but there are much more things that you can do. So for example, if you have to compare two different runs, so let's say I want to compare this salty run to the skillful run. So I'll select skillful, see what will happen. You will be able to side by side see which of your prompts. So it may happen that your this run is corresponding to another prompt, and this run corresponds to some other prompt. So in this manner, you will be able to make a side-by-side comparison of both the prompts, and you can clearly, decisively say which prompt is scaling better, which prompt is doing better in correctness and in professionalism. And you can imagine, if you have got 100 of data sets and 100 of prompts, this can be really useful and handy thing. Okay, so thank you so much. In the next video, we will be seeing how to write custom scorers.